Something is moving in this direction. You can make all the noise you like. I'm not afraid of you.
Oh, how wonderful is death. Death and its brother sleep. One pale as yonder waning moon, with lips of lurid blue. The other rosy as the morn, those azure veins which steal like streams among fields of snow. That lovely outline which is fair as breathing marble, perish. Must putrefaction's breath leave nothing of this heavenly sight but loathsomeness and ruin? Or is it only sweet slumber, stealing over sensation, which the breath of roseate morning chaseth into darkness? Will Ianth wake again? And give that faithful bosom joy, which sleepless spirit waits to catch? Light, life and rapture from her smile. Yes, she will wake again. Although her glowing lips are motionless and silent, those sweet lips once breathing eloquence that might have soothed a tiger's rage, or thawed the cold heart of a conqueror. Her dewy eyes are closed, and on their lids, whose texture's fine, scarce, hides the dark blue orbs beneath. The baby's sleep is pillowed. Her golden tresses shade the bosom's stainless pride, curling like tendrils of the parasite around a marble column. Hark! Whence that rushing sound? 'Tis like the wondrous rain. That round and lonely ruin swells, which wandering on the echoing shore, the enthusiast hears it at evening. 'Tis softer than the west wind's sigh. 'Tis wilder than the unmeasured notes of strange lyre whose strings of the genie of the breezes sweep. Those lines of rainbow light are like the moonbeams when they fall through some cathedral window, but the tints are such that may not find comparison on the earth. Behold, chariot of the fairy queen. Celestial coursers paw at the unyielding air. Their filmy pinions at her word they furl, and stop obedient to the reins of the light. These the queen of spells drew in. She spread a charm around the spot, and leaning graceful from her ethereal car, long did she gaze, and silently, upon the slumbering maid. Ho! Not the vision poet in his dreams, when silvery clouds float through the wildered brain, when every sight of lovely, wild, and grand astonishes, enraptures, and elevates, when fancy at a glance combines the wondrous and the beautiful. So bright, so fair, so wild a shape hath ever yet beheld, as that which reigns and courses through the air, and poured the magic of her gaze upon the maiden's sleep. The broad and yellow moon shone dimly through her form, that form of faultless symmetry. The pearly and pellucid car moved not in moonlight's line. It was not an earthly pageant. Those who had looked upon the sight passing in all human glory saw not the yellow moon, saw not the mortal scene, heard not the night wind's rush, heard not an earthly sound, but saw the fairy pageant. Yes. Her thin and misty form moved with the moving of the air, and the clear silver tones as thus she spoke were such as unheard by all but a gifted ear. Stars, you balmiest influence shed. Elements, your wrath suspend. Sleep, ocean in the rocky bounds, that circle thy domain. Let not a breath be seen to stir around yon grassy ruin's height. Let even the restless gossamer sleep on the moveless air. Soul of Ianth, thou judged alone worthy of envied boon, that awaits the good and sincere, that awaits those who have struggled with resolute will, vanquished earth's pride and meanness, burst the chains of icy custom that have shone through the day star of their age, Soul of Ianth, awake! Arise! Sudden arose Ianth's soul. It stood, the perfect semblance of its bodily frame. Instinct, inexpressible beauty and grace. Each stain of earthliness had passed away. It reassumed its native dignity and stood immortal amid ruins. Upon the couch the body lay. Wrapped in the depth of slumber, its features were fixed with meaningless. 'Twas a sight of wonder to behold. The body and soul of the same lineaments, the same marks of identity were there. Yet how different! One aspires to heaven, pants for its semi-eternal heritage, and ever-changing, ever-rising, wantons in endless being. The other, for a time, unwilling in sport of circumstance and passion. It struggles on, fleets through its sad duration rapidly, like then a useless and worn-out machine, rots, perishes, and passes. Spirit who has dived so deep, spirit who has soared so high, thou the fearless, the mild, accept thy boon, thy worth is earned. Ascend the car with me. But do I dream? Is this a new feeling? If I indeed am a soul, a free, disembodied soul, speak again to me. I am the fairy Mab. To me 'tis given the wonders of the human world to keep, the secrets of immeasurable past and the failing consciousness of men. Behold, a gorgeous palace that amid yon populous city rears its 1,000 towers, seems itself a city. Gloomy troops of sentinels in stern and silent ranks encompass it around. The dweller there cannot be free and happy. Hearest thou not the curses of the fatherless, the groans of those who have no friend? He passes on. The king, the wearer of the gilded chain that binds his soul to abjectedness, the fool, whom courtiers nickname monarch, whilst a slave even the basest appetites that man heeds. Not the shriek of penury, he smiles at the deepest curses which the destitute mutter in secret, and a sullen joy pervades his bloodless heart when thousands groan but for the morsels of which his wantonness wastes in unjoyous revelry, to save all that they love from famine. When he hears the tale of horror, to some ready-made face of hypocritical assent he turns, smothering the glow of shame that the spite of him flushes from his bloated cheek. Now to the meal of silence, grandeur and excess. Oh, must this last forever? Awful death! I wish, yet feared to clasp thee. Not one moment of dreamless sleep. O dear and blessed peace, why dost thou shred thy vestal purity in penury and dungeons? Wherefore lurkest with danger, death, and solitude, yet shunst the palace I have built thee? Sacred peace! Oh, visit me but once, but pitying shed one drop of balm upon my withered soul. Vain man, that palace of the virtuous heart, peace defileth not her snowy robes, in such a shed as thine. Hark! Yet he mutters. His slumbers are but various agonies, the prey like scorpions on springs of life. There needeth not the hell of bigot's frame to punish those who err. Earth in itself contains at once the evil and the cure, and all-sufficing nature can chastise those who transgress her laws. She only knows how to justly proportion the fault of the punishment it merits. Is it strange that this poor wretch should pride with him in his woe, to take pleasure in his abjectness, and hug the scorpion that consumes him? Is it strange that placed upon a conspicuous throne of thrones, grasping at an iron scepter, and immured with a splendid prison whose stern bounds shut him off from good or dear things on earth, the unconquered powers of precedent and custom interpose between a king and his virtue? Stranger yet, To those who know not the nature nor deduce the future from the present, it may seem that only one slave who suffers from the crimes of unnatural being, not one wretch whose children famish, whose nuptial bed is the earth's unpitying bosom, rears an arm to dash him from his throne. Those gilded flies that basking in the sunshine of a court fatten on its corruption. What are they? Eternal Triune. Is it he who dares arrest the wheels of destiny? Plunge me into the lowest hell of hells. Will not the lightning's blast destroy my frame? Will not steel drink the blood life where it swells? Let me hide where destruction dwells to rouse her from her deeply caverned lair, and taunting her cursed sluggishness to ire, light long oblivion's death torch in its frame. Tyrant of earth, pale misery's jackal, thou! There are no stories of vengeful violent fate within the magazines of thy fierce hate. No poison in the clouds bathing a brow that lowers thee with desperate contempt. Where is the noonday pestilence that slew the myriad sons of Israel's favored nation? Where the destroying minister that flew, pouring the fiery tide of desolation upon legions of Assyrians? Where is the dark, earthquake demon who engorged at the dread of Korah's unconscious crew? Or the angel's two-edged sword of fire that urged our primal parents from their bower of bliss, reared by thy hand for errors not of their own, but thine omniscient mind foredoomed, foreknown? Yes, I would court a ruin such as this, almighty tyrant. Give thanks to thee. Drink deeply, drain thy cup of hate. Remit this, I may die. And like the dying, lean and pale, who totters forth, wrapped in a gauzy veil, out of her chamber, led by the insane and feeble wanderings of her fading brain, the moon arose upon the murky east, a white and shapeless mass, a ghost of mine own past.
Why are you hurting people? Why do you want to hurt so much?